Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another Warcraft replay here, and this is not the requested replay that I said I would get to. Hold on, let's check the settings first. Looks the same. But yeah, this is not the Infi versus Fly game that was requested.
Stand ready.
Very, very unfortunate that the day that I said that it will be on the next of my list, Netease decides to patch, and yeah, they patched to 1.30.4, and that kind of made it very, very difficult to watch old replays, and that's the problem I'm actually struggling with. I can't actually play the old replay that I have because I don't know, the map file says it's incorrect, even though it's literally the same map, literally the same file that constantly gets downloaded from the Netease thing. It's just the fact that Netease runs on 1.3.4 now that I just can't watch it, and that is really, really bad timing. I'll try to see if there's any way, any solution to get that running, but yeah, we will have to make do with the recent version of replays that that gets uploaded from now on. Colors look correct. Okay. We have ShaDai spawning in as the blue undead player on the top left. I have not casted this particular player before. He hails from Russia, and hasn't found too much success in the international stage, I would say. Mostly a local or regional player, and yeah, that's honestly as far as I know of this person. It seems like he's gonna go for mass school opening with a Dreadlord first. We have seen this from side earlier. I believe these two players do butt heads with each other from time to time, especially as undead players of themselves. Maybe we will see, hopefully, a replay between those two, but yeah, he'll be facing off against Infi, who is going to be playing his main race human this time around, and he is going to go for Blood Mage first, which was a change that was experienced in 1.30.2. His flame strikes do cast a lot faster. I think it's about, what was it? About 0.4 seconds faster than normal, and you can see here immediately being used. It's going to clear out the Merc camp first, and yeah, I'm actually curious to see how this goes. So mass ghouls versus flame striking blood mage. Yeah, very interested to see how this turns out. Ideally, flame strike does hit a lot of ghouls, but at the same time the ghouls will eventually get fast with their frenzy buff that they could possibly just outrun the hastened flame strike cast, so we'll have to see how that gets implemented. But the potential of Blood Mage is there. Obviously you can go Blood Mage Mountain King second to obviously enable a Banished Stormbolt to maybe potentially one-shot either the ghouls or any potential tier 2 units, or maybe even Crypt Fiends coming out. But let's see how this is going to be played, as an early expansion attempt here for ShaDai is going to yeah, pretty much break the mold of normal undead playstyles here. But since he does have such a dominant early force, he can actually afford to take the risk of expanding, and Terenas Stand, obviously the map, is very generous with its expansion locations. It's relatively safe. Obviously, it is very vulnerable to air units, but human air units do take quite some time to actually be effective. So let's wait and see. Skeletons did scout out of this expansion attempt here from Infi as well, so both sides going for their expansion first. So not a major economic advantage that Infi will have, and with the footman scouting here, he will realize that the necropolis is still not glowing green, so it is most likely an expansion here for ShaDai, as well as a TP staff from the Blood Mage hopefully trying to abuse that Flame Strike, as he is going to go straight after the Tower and Tomb of Relics. And that is going to do a fair amount of damage. Obviously, Flame Strike is a lot more front-loaded in terms of its damage, so potentially a second cast will be enough to finish the job. Nerubian Tower is going to get killed off, almost. Doesn't look like it, as the Blood Mage is most likely going to have to TP scroll out of here, as the Nerubian Tower is now going to be repaired. We did see the mana drain coming in from the Blood Mage, so no banish shenanigans for this game, it seems. So the Mountain King is probably not going to be hero number 2. It could possibly just be a Paladin second. It's a very nice hero to complement this kind of hero comp, I could say. Dreadlord gonna hit that level 3. Obviously the Blood Mage was already level 3. He was trying to take advantage of his leveled up Flame Strike there. But yeah, for now, since both sides did go expansion first, it is gonna take some time for them to reveal what their in-game army comp is going to be. But for now, I imagine it's going to relatively be standard. As I say that, I just now realized that the hero comps are not actually standard. I'm trying to think any other changes from the recent buffs. I do know something was touched about Defend on the Footmans, but since we are facing mass schools, I don't think Defend is going to be in play. At least for now. We are going to have a second crypt and a third crypt? No, we are going to have a second crypt and a graveyard being plopped down here.
Our forces are under attack.
Graveyard might indicate a Crypt Fiend transition, or he just really wants those upgrades. The second crypt, we might actually have some gargoyles. That is another possibility as well, as an illusion is going to get sleep surrounded here, and yikes, there we go with a nice abolish to check out if it actually is an illusion. And yeah, he did kind of get bamboozled there.
Summoning is complete.
I am constantly hearing that mana drain sound effect, which is actually really annoying. I don't know where it's coming from, but yeah, that is very annoying. I think no, it's still there, sadly. But we did see the Dreadlord actually casting his Carrion Swarm, so an interesting ability of choice, considering you do have a lot of ghouls in play, but you can see how much damage he's already inflicting. Of course, the Blood Mage also returning the favor with his own Flame Strike, and now that the Dreadlord is kind of screwed in terms of mana, Carrion Swarm is definitely no slouch in terms of mana costs, and on top of that, with the mana draining Blood Mage, that is going to be really difficult to try and match up, to be honest. And with a potential drop here, Flame Strikes with a full mana Blood Mage is going to be very, very devastating. Here we go. Flame Strike going straight after those towers, as the Dreadlord is definitely not in a position to fight back. He does have a greater healing potion, but without any sort of mana whatsoever, it's going to be real difficult to defend this. And here we come with another Flame Strike there that is going to toast a lot of those acolytes, and thankfully those ghouls did get out of dodge. But what is going to be the answer? It is indeed going to be gargoyles here, as a third crypt is producing straight of them. A nice Flame Strike able to do a good chunk of damage on those ghouls, as well as the Blood Mage, with so many Shadow Priests and the Dreadlord nearby, he just has constant stream of mana to just constantly spam that Flame Strike. And there we go, another Flame Strike there is going to do a decent chunk of damage to those Ziggurats. But now that the gargoyles have shown themselves, yeah, trying to go after that Zeppelin, but thankfully do have a couple of ranged units to try and fend that off. But here comes additional gargoyles there, and that is most likely going to be a forced retreat for Infi, maybe? No. I mean, ShaDai does have enough gargoyles to fend this off, as TP staff back home for the Blood Mage. Second home, I guess. Castle Tech is on its way, so this is possibly going to be Spellbreaker Knights, I think. We do have an Arcane Sanctum being placed in. I was going to say Griffin Knights, but instead we are going to go for some Spellcasters as well. Blacksmith does seem to encourage either Knights or Workshops here. Okay, this is where the Mandarin actually sound effect comes from. Very unfortunate that is still here on in the remainder of the game. Dreadlord's still at level 3. We actually have any intention of going for more heroes? It does not look like it. Obviously the Dreadlord has a very impactful ultimate ability with the Inferno, but he... uh-oh. No, freeze. He desperately needs to get that experience, and right now not many camps are remaining. We do have about... we do have the corner camps here, but we don't actually have any red camps on this particular map, so getting that level 5 is going to be quite a task to do, as yet again flame strike harassment here on the gold mine. I could definitely see the blood mage returning in the future, as we do have a bit of a late sleep there. It is going to prevent the, or it is actually going to not exactly prevent the blood mage from finishing his flame strike cast. So yeah, thankfully he does save his gold mine, but another drop could be very, very devastating, as we do have a mechanical critter being used for obviously scouting purposes. If he is hoping to try and take advantage of the, I guess, the greenness, the how should I say it? The lack of veterancy for ShaDai to realize the mechanical critter, but I mean, undead players like killing critters anyway for their skeletons, so seeing this stag, I wouldn't, I really can't imagine this stag actually staying alive for that long, especially since it's such an abnormal pathing that, yeah, obviously it should be a mechanical critter, as we do have another drop here on the top left, but it seems like the Zeppelin has been taken down, so the Blood Mage is unable to retreat through that means. He is going to lose his mercenaries unless he starts channeling his TP scroll. Another flame strike is going to come down, but is that going to be enough work done? Actually, it does do a lot of damage to that Dreadlord. Ogremola is going to get taken down by those gargoyles, but is that going to be enough? Dreadlord needs to be extremely careful not to stand on that flame strike. The Dark Ranger is going to burn, as she does get the final silence down, but the TP scroll is going to come through. Blood Mage is going to be the sole survivor of this harassment, but all in all, that does seem a rather fruitful drop there. It obviously took down a couple of acolytes, so it does feel a little bad to have this Black Citadel still upgrading, but since it's nearly done, I guess it doesn't matter too much. The Dark Ranger kill was obviously a bonus, but more importantly, the Blood Mage, wherever he is extremely close to that level 6. So yeah, possible Phoenix usage is definitely welcome here, especially on 2019, which I don't think we've barely had many Blood Mages getting that level 6 on the channel. I don't think we've ever had a Phoenix, maybe we did have a Phoenix once, but yeah, Flame Strike attempt here from the Blood Mage. He tried to go and snipe that Dreadlord, as yikes, very, very foolish to start with a TP staff there. He is going to get sleep interrupted, and he is going to try and leg it, I guess. Dreadlord does have the same movement speed since he does have boosted speed, and that is going to force the TP scroll, maybe? I mean, the Blood Mage, the Dreadlord is kind of out of mana, but he does have a Sobi Mask, so it is kind of risky to, yeah, try for that, to be honest. He is maybe looking to go for one additional Flame Strike, but here comes an Archmage here, maybe with Blizzard, I don't know, but for now, the Blood Mage is going to actually run away as soon as... Actually no, he just decides to not chase. We do see a Boneyard being placed down, so Gargoyles and Frostworms, but depending on whether or not we do have Workshops, which we do, yeah, Infi is kind of already building for this. We don't actually have any flying machines in the air, but with a single Workshop, possibly more, those gargoyles might actually get shot down out of the sky. We will have to wait and see, as the Blood Mage just passerbys this attempt at the Dark Wizard camp here. And the item is going to be... what is it? It is going to be a full 15 Invuln Potion, As
Our forces are
okay,
under
double
attack.
heroes here. What are they gonna do? We are gonna have a TP staff on cooldown. Flame Strike and Blizzard to try and attempt to take down that gold mine here. Double AoE, but the Blood Mage needs to be a little careful here. He is going to drain the mana out of that Dreadboard, so no more sleep attempts anytime soon. Archmage is kind of screwed. He was left alone, but he does have an invuln. I actually have no idea why it's on cooldown, but yeah, another Flame Strike attempt here. Dragonhawk Riders are in the air, and they are going to be taking down those gargoyles. So I completely missed these aviaries, but yeah, Dragonhawks are going to make very, very quick work out of the Froststorm and
Summoning
gargoyles. Archmage actually lives with about 10 health. He did have that invuln potion, but with the shade nearby, it was rather foolish to turn around. But it is a level 1 hero. That is going to be a very quick revival, either through the tavern or through the altar. Where is the Blood Mage? Is he on a Zeppelin? I actually don't know. I think he's invisible, and that is going to be really, really struggling to try and find him. But yeah, I don't think he actually hasn't progressed all that much in terms of levels
Our forces are under
to
attack.
get that Phoenix. So yeah, he needs to obviously look for a lot easier targets to go for, but yeah, I just really want that Phoenix. He is obliterating the remainder creep camps with his level 3 Flame Strike. You can see how devastating that ability actually is at max level. And yeah, with the Archmage returning, I really should avoid this half of the map, as that sound effect is really, really annoying. Healing wards for the Dark Ranger here. Not sure how useful it's going to be. Obviously it's going to be very useful out of fights and during creep camps, but when you're facing flame strikes, it's definitely not a good idea to stick to one location of the map. Dark Ranger at level 3, and with level 2 Black Arrows, I guess it's or level 1 Black Arrows, as we do have level 2 Silence actually being shown here. So yeah, trying to shut up that Blood Mage, but honestly, with such a quick cast time, I really can't imagine how useful that is going to be. Here we go with another attempt here on the ghouls, on the acolytes, nope, on the Tomb of Relics and the Ziggurat here. Devastating damage, as we still have this mechanical critter, which yeah, I don't actually want to throw ShaDai under the bus, but with the stag just hold position, not even moving a little bit, it should be a little bit suspicious that a critter is actually still here. Huh. Invisible heroes are going to get spotted by the shade. Nicely done there from ShaDai, and he is going to sleeps around the Archmage. Nope. It seems like he was able to sneak in a pot, invuln pot, just in the nick of time, as expansion attempt on the bottom left is going to immediately get cancelled. That is indeed a lot of gargoyles, and we don't actually have that many Dragonhawk Riders to match up. Only 4 Dragonhawk Riders. This does seem like quite a bit of a predicament for Infi, especially with how much resources he's stocking up. He has 4k. This tracker must not be right. He has almost 4k gold and 3k lumber. Let's see how this fight turns out to be. Flame Strike obviously can't hit the air units, but Blizzard can. But how can he defend this with his silenced heroes? Froststorm, okay, I really need to get this freezing fixed, but wow, it's still going on. Awkward. Can I get this fixed anytime soon? I actually have no idea what the problem is with this freezing. Right. Okay, there we go. Very, very sorry for that, but mass focus fire onto the Blood Mage. Constant silences is going to have to put him out of the fight. Froststorm almost lost his life, but yeah, only only a couple of Dragonhawk Riders. That's not going to be enough to fend off against this air threat. We even have destroyers as well, but yeah, the silences do screw over Infi a lot. Here we go with the first couple of nets, but I imagine more silences are going to be cast as Griffin Aviary is going overtime, going after those nets, and now it might actually be ShaDai that's overextended as we again have another freeze. Blizzard is going to wipe out the gargoyles there, but I think we had the Blood Mage taken down, as I think I heard his cries. Archmage is going to be forced to TP scroll out of here. They did take down a good number of gargoyles, but the Froststorm still lives, and yeah, the Destroyer is still alive as well. The last remaining gargoyles are going to get wiped out as we have suddenly just a lot of Dragonhawk Riders for Infi. As yes, it does seem like the Blood Mage did die off. It is going to be the Archmage that's going to be revived through the altar, as I believe the Blood Mage is going to get revived through the tavern. Yep, there we go. Is going to TP staff back to the expansion, it seems, as he is in no way to contribute to this defense. Where did he go? Oh, actually he's in the main base. Still no mana to actually contribute to this defense. Is going to mana drain the Dreadlord, but he is still half health, so he needs to be a little bit careful. Carrion Swarm is going to do a lot of damage there, but Dreadlord might actually be overstaying. He has no mana for additional Carrion Swarms there, so yeah, is going to retreat. Archmage should be revived about now. There we go. I'm actually very curious to see the Archmage here. I mean, obviously Blizzard is an AoE spell and he wants to try and beat Thematic, but Paladin third I should at least expect by now, because healing seems to be very, very required for this army comp.
Our gold mine is nearly empty.
Gold mine is going to collapse here very soon. This one obviously collapsed long ago because yeah, Infi actually never got harassed at his main base. So yeah. Expansion on the top right, and I am assuming this is, yep, in sight of Infi. So yeah, if you're ShaDai, you really have to realize these things. Why on earth is the same stag on the expansion now? Why did he suddenly migrate along with my other acolytes here? I mean, Blight is kind of purplish, so it's kind of like purple on purple, but I'm pretty sure most players would have their health bars on, so they should at least realize that, you know, the critter is right here. That is a lot of air units, and 2 Froststorms to add to that. This Froststorm's still kind of low health, so that is going to be a bit of a problem here, as once again, Flame Strike onto the new base. It is going to, the gold mine is going to get unsummoned, as this base might actually be forced to cancel as well. But here comes the fleet for the human army here. Flying machines have been added into the mix, as there we go with the spam nets. We are going to have the silence to cancel that, and that is going to be very, very effective silence here. Paladin does indeed show as the third hero, but how useful is he going to be at level 1, however? Carrion Swarm is going to do a lot of damage across the board, and yeah, it seems like Infi is eventually getting pushed back. He did lose his Archmage at level 3, and his Blood Mage still hasn't gone to that crucial level 6 that he... I mean, yeah, the Phoenix might just get absolutely murdered by those gargoyles, but honestly, every little bit helps. As you can see there, the gargoyle is going straight after that Blood Mage, so desperately. Finally, level 6 has been attained. Will we have the Phoenix being summoned or not? Or will we just have level 3 mana drain? There we go here, Phoenix has finally arrived, and hopefully its additional splash damage or multiple attacks will be able to sway this, as yeah, the gargoyles did make quick work out of that Phoenix's health bar, but with so many air units for Infi, there's just multi-threats to deal with. Phoenix is going to eventually go into egg form here, as it is slowly deteriorating its health. It really needs to be careful where it despawns. I think Okay, that was rather unfortunate and very clumsy of Infi. Because the Phoenix was on top of the water, it actually had nowhere to land, so it instantly died. That was extremely, extremely unfortunate for Infi. Clearly shows how very little of Phoenix he actually uses, and that is extremely long cooldown for him to wait, and it might actually come to bite him in the ass later because the Dreadlord is now level 6, and I would imagine Inferno should be on the top of his priority list in terms of abilities. So let's wait and see for that to happen. It does have the mana pot, so it's definitely not a mana problem, but I think it's mainly due to the fact that it's mostly air units that the Inferno might not actually find its worth. Either way, expansion is going to be taken out here. This expansion is going to run dry in about a minute or so. This one, obviously, same story as this gold mine, constantly harassed, and still has plenty of gold left in its mines. Stag, yeah, is still alive, and it is telling its fellow humans that this expansion is once again getting rebuilt.
Our forces are under attack.
Gold mine did get cancelled here, but here comes the air force of ShaDai. He does have a couple of Crypt Fiends as well. I assume he has auto whips as well. Yep, there we go, auto whips. We also have stone form, just in case those gargoyles gets screwed, I guess. They can't really stone form during nets, so I'm curious to see how he uses that. Most likely out of combat, but you know what I mean. Flame Strike is going to do about half or 60% of that single Crypt Fiend's health bar there. I'm surprised it actually didn't do more. Statue gets caught out, kind of abandoned by his undead brethren, as yeah, just easy experience for whoever needs it, I guess. Paladin probably needs it since he's desperately needing that divine shield, and yeah, Archmage kind of for his brilliance aura. Alright, another expansion attempt on the top right. The Acolytes are just standing next to the Stag as well. I'm just so surprised that this critter is still alive.
Our gold mine is nearly empty.
Alright, Phoenix has returned finally. The Paladin is going to try and constantly heal it to prevent it from going into egg form, but I imagine Infi should be a lot more careful now, since that previous blunder it's kind of parody, to be honest. Alrighty, supplies right now, 51 for Infi, 64 for ShaDai, and Silence has been cast on the Archmage and Blood Mage, which is definitely what Infi wants to go for. Here comes the Inferno as well, very nice stun, going to stun a lot of those ground units here, but we have another freeze. Surprisingly enough, Dragonhawk Riders are reduced down to 2 or 4. The whips actually kind of screwed the numbers there, and that is going to force the undead players to retreat. Honestly, I could have sworn there was only 2 Dragonhawks, but since the web did kind of reposition them, that did yeah, I was going to point out how ShaDai looks in such a good position, but since there was a lot more Dragonhawks than I expected, yeah, it was wise to retreat at that point. It's just those gargoyles are gonna find a very hard time getting close to those Dragonhawk Riders. Obviously, the silence wasn't great. It should have hit the heroes plus the Dragonhawks, but obviously Infi didn't really give the luxury of that positioning for his opponent to get a very nice silence. Phoenix is going to how should I say it? Revive, I guess, reincarnate Phoenix things, as yet again this expansion is going to get harassed. This one obviously wiped out as well, and yeah, it's honestly just at the point where both players are just struggling with their current bank. Infi, surprising enough, did spend all that gold that he did accumulate earlier, and right now it is ShaDai in a pretty good position since he still had this gold mine for a good number of minutes. But here we go here. Let's see how much worth Phoenix is going to put out as a reoccurring unit. Sleep onto the Blood Mage there, as a very nice silence is going to be used, and we actually have a level 6 Dark Ranger as Possession comes in and takes the Dragonhawk Rider for himself. But that is a very nice Flame Strike to do a ton of damage to those Crypt Fiends there. Well, we have another lengthy fight for position to finally put out its worth. Phoenix is going to revive at full health as well. Carrion Swarm is going to do a ton of damage to those priests, but Flame Strikes is going to cook those bugs to absolute crisp, as the Phoenix is going to go into egg form once again. But ShaDai needs to deal with that egg before the Phoenix revives at full health again. He is looking to try and surround that Blood Mage, but honestly with Boots of Speed it's going to be very difficult without additional sleep support, as the Phoenix once again returns at full health. You can see here how its unique attack modifier is going to just constantly dish out damage as it's moving, and another Flame Strike is going to take another Crypt Fiend to hell, as yeah, the Phoenix is doing a ton of damage itself as well. Silence has been cast on the Blood Mage, as a Sleep is also going to get cast as well. Paladin falls, but is that going to be enough, as it seems like Infi just could not deal with constant Carrion Swarms and the constant possessions, as yeah, ShaDai is actually going to take this victory. Obviously we had a very exciting battle between Infernos and Phoenixes, and yeah, constant air battle between these two players. It definitely could have gone either way, but yeah, I don't know what just happened. I think it was just the gold that ShaDai still had left over. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I really need to get this managing sound effect out of my ear.